Okay. Okay, perfect. Should work, hopefully.
Hey guys, and happy Monday night. We wanted to jump on here and just cover a few things tonight that we feel like will be helpful for our team. And I'm going to start us off with discipline over motivation. Y'all, that I'm talking to myself tonight when I talk. So do not think I'm coming at you. I'm coming at myself more than I probably even am coming at you, okay? But it's things that like have been convicting me and that have been on my heart and so I just wanted to jump into them tonight. But first, let's start off with a quote from our favorite John Maxwell. And this is a really good quote. Write this down. It's motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. Um, Motivation is a great thing. And yes, we should have it from time to time. And most of us do get those, bursts of motivation and of like, oh, I'm going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to run. We're going to whatever, we all do it, especially like, that's why we love events so much, going to in-person events because they motivate us. They like get us going. And we do need to have things to fuel our fire. But motivation runs out eventually. They say, what is it? Motivation is temporary, but discipline is for life. And that's so true in so many areas of your life, not just your business. Um, but when it comes to Plexus, it's really easy to like get unmotivated if, you aren't having the growth that you want, or if your team isn't running the way you want, or if things in your life come up. And the great thing about this business is the freedom that it provides. It is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing. But it's a blessing and a curse because if you don't put the work in, you're not going to move your needle forward in your business. And I've been there. My points reflect it. A lot of things in my business right now are reflecting where I haven't stepped in to do the day-to-day things. And now I'm seeing, I'm having to spin my wheels harder to get back to where I was in my business. So, yeah, like I said, discipline are the things that you do day to day to move your needle forward. The small things. And if you're like me, I don't know, some of y'all are not, I'm very type B. So I get very overwhelmed at like, because I have like all these things going on. Um, and so I am trying so hard, even in this crazy season of life that's just kind of hit me out of nowhere with my family. I've got a lot going on with my family, but I I have to not use that as an excuse. Like, yes, we are allowed to take a step back. Yes, that's the beauty of this business is it will still be here when we do come back from whatever we need to take a break from, but we can't stay back there. We can't stay there because you're going to start seeing a decline um in your points. And we want duplication. We want to grow. And so we as leaders have to do the day-to-day things that we don't always want to do. And some of those things you're like, okay, well, like, what are you talking about? Income producing activities, IPA stuff. If you don't know what to do, use a sheet. We have several IPA sheets that you can use daily to, and you don't have to do everything on every day, or like pick, things. You don't have to, like I said, don't let it overwhelm you. Do things that are going to move your needle forward in your business. Like, it's okay if you don't wish everybody happy birthday every day. Like, that's great because it makes new connections and things like that. But follow up with your customers, follow up with your prospects, things like that are what need move the needle forward. And sometimes, you know, we've said this so many times. What is it like? The eighth to 12th follow up is when sometimes when you will seal the deal with somebody, you don't have to be weird or scammy or salesy or annoying, but keep conversations going with people. Don't give up on people. Um, that's that's kind of that in a nutshell. It's just like making sure that we keep the discipline part of our business intact, because you will not see growth in your business if you do not keep those things in mind. And so we as a team, and I as a leader, I want to do more things to help motivate my team, but also implement like, well, you also have to be disciplined as well because we're not always going to be on this high mountain. Sometimes we're in the valleys and we got to grow out of those valleys. So I hope that helps you just understand in this business, as with anything, you just have to have the discipline part. It can't just be, you can't ride off of motivation because it's not going to get you anywhere because you're not always going to be, you're not going to wake up feeling like it every day. Um, and like I said, my business, as you got a lot of, I'm an Emerald ambassador and my points have not reflected Emerald, because I have let things get in the way of getting me back there. And I know the things that I need to work on, but it's implementing them. Like we can all day long know the things we need to do, but if we don't take action, we're gonna, feel stuck. And that's, our fault. We have to make sure that we are doing self-development, self-growth. That way we can lead our teams better. Um, Let me see if I have anything else written down. Um, oh, one thing that I'm really bad at saying is like, well, when I get through like this season of my life, like it'll be a lot, it'll be a lot less hectic. And then I can just like really dive into my business. And I've said this so many times. And like I just told Sam like 3 weeks ago, I was like, man, like I'm at like a really good place now. Like things are really slowing down for my family. And it's been great because a lot of y'all don't know my story. That we can save that for another time. But um I worked a very, very crazy, hectic job and was able, because of Plexus, I was able to come out of that job and be in ministry with my husband. And it's been wonderful. But there was like a fast season where it was like we were trying to like detox from the busyness. And we finally did. And then my mom is in the hospital and my grandma is in the hospital. And so I've been like running from here to there to everywhere and paying bills for my mom, and, just like all these things. And I've made so many excuses, but I'm like, if I have time to scroll on social media, I have time to do 15 minutes of working my business. So I hope that helps. It definitely keeps me convicted. And when I say all this out loud to you guys, it's actually helping me internalize like what I need to be doing. So I'm gonna pass it over to which one of you?
I, I'm going to piggyback off you a little bit.
Okay.
So, how she was talking about like the, we talk about like doing our IPAs and how what we're doing every single day, we might not see it right then, but it compounds over time. Well, it's the same thing when we aren't doing it. We're not going to see the change right then. We're not going to see our points reflect. You might not see it till months later. But the things that you are doing, the things that you're not doing, you're either going to see a positive thing or you're going to see a negative thing. Like, I mean, nobody wants to see their points go backwards. But if we're not doing the things to make them go forwards, then they're not going to. And we have to take that action every single day, whether we see it right then or not, because everything that you do every single day will compound over time. You will see those people come and you will see your points grow if you continue to do it. And I've seen that in my own business. I've seen myself lose points and then gain points and then lose them and then gain them. And for me, I haven't been putting in that much effort or work into my business either because I really just got complacent, honestly. I was okay where I was at and I didn't see, it's not that I didn't want to grow. I just I didn't have my eyes set on more and what it actually could do for my family until I started losing points. And then I'm like, oh crap. Well, now I'm not complacent anymore because I was so used to having that income come in that was paying certain things for us. And so just remember, like, it's never too late to get back into action with it. It's okay to say you're sorry to your customers for not taking care of them the way that you should have. Let them know that it was your fault, maybe that they didn't succeed or get what they needed out of their products. Because it might have been, if you were not taking care of them the way that they should have been taken care of, then it's probably your fault that they were not consistent with it and didn't fall in love with the products. Sometimes it's not. Some people are just people and they just aren't good with consistency. And maybe it was just not their time, because I know when I first ordered, it was not my time, but eventually it was. But I would just say, like, really dive in, really do your IPAs, really follow up, go back to those customers that maybe didn't give it a real shot. I've been going through and seeing like who hasn't ordered in 6 months and getting them cleared out and letting them know about the reset and getting them re-signed up if they want to start over and letting them know it's okay to start over. Like I did it. A lot of people have done it. So many people have started and quit, and then, but when they do start back, give them those realistic expectations. And when you say you're going to take care of them and that you're going to be there every step of the way, do that. Do what you say. Because I know at the beginning of the month, last month, I didn't reach out to like hardly anybody, like nobody. I was just in my own head, in my own thing, and I was not doing nothing. So this month, I was like, I told Heather, I told Sam, I was like, I'm going to really go follow up. I'm going to go talk to people. I'm going to send out messages every single day. And I mean, yesterday I signed my third person already, and my goal is 8 people this month. And I'm on a good course to hit that goal. I have my prospects in my phone. I've been keeping things more organized and following up with those people like every couple days. And I'll tell them after I follow up with them for like the 7 billionth time, I feel like I'm like, if you're not ready for this, just let me know. Like, talk to me about it. It's okay if you're not ready. Or if you don't want me to ever talk to you again about it, let me know. At least that is like off the table. Because most of the time they'll come back and be like, no, it's not that I don't want you to not talk to me about it. Please don't stop following up with me. But right now it's not an okay time. But at least you got to answer and okay, right now it's not okay, but I know I can follow up with them later. I've never had anybody tell me, don't ever message me again. So continue to follow up. They want this. They just might not be completely ready for it. And that's okay. It's not a matter of if they're going to do this, it's when they're going to do it. And we just have to be patient with people, honestly. I think that's all I have to say.
So just piggybacking off that, I want you to think of yourself as farmers. Because what we do literally takes 60 to 90 days to even see any sort of benefit from it. It's true. So if you stop working your business this month and then we get to January and you're like, all these people are so successful in having these big Januaries, but I'm not, it's because you didn't plant your seeds, you didn't water, give them sun, nurture them. So what I'm going to say is the posting challenge, ever since I started Plexus, even when I was in the hospital, after I delivered Huxley, I made a Plexus post. I made Plexus posts 6 out of 7 days a week for at least a solid 6 years. And now I do it here and there. I do it at least 3 times a week. I try to be in my stories a lot. But if you are not sharing Plexus, your store is not open and people are not going to remember you as the Plexus person, because people forget they're busy. Like you heard both of them talk about their busy lives. I have a super busy life. Jen followed up with me so many times, you guys, at least for 3 months. She followed up with me. I said, no, I didn't have time, whatever. She kept following up with me. She kept nurturing our relationship. And eventually I said, yes. I'm like, okay, just take my card because I'm super busy. Do this for me. But my friend was posting Plexus one time, didn't reach out to me, wasn't talking to me about it. And I signed up with a girl I barely knew instead of my friend. Why? Because number one, I knew Plexus was an investment and I wanted to be with someone who wasn't wishy-washy, who I knew if I had questions I could talk to, who I knew she wasn't going to be gone next week, and who I trusted for her store to still be open if I had a problem. I hope that makes sense, but we are Plexus. We are the store Plexus. Some of us are going to be the only Plexus anybody sees. And so you need to be a good representation of it. You need to be open. You need to be planting your seeds. And that's whether that be your post And when people like it, you reach out to them and say, hey, thank you so much for loving on my post. Your support means so much to me. Nothing else. And then if they're like, oh, you're welcome, you can say something like, have you ever heard of Plexus or have you ever tried it? And that's when I'll offer them a sample. So that's kind of helping plant that seed. A cold message is planting the seed. When I send cold messages, I always will say, this may or may not be for you, but I could not help myself but reach out to you. And usually when you say this may or not be for you, people are like, oh, they're not going to tell me what I'm not going to want to do, so they're more apt to listen. And so that's kind of planting your seed, watering your seed, trying to bring it to fruition is obviously by following up, but by building a relationship, by commenting on their pictures, by being engaging with them, non-Plexus, because we don't want to just be Plexus. People aren't on our page just because we're Plexus ambassadors. They're our friends, they're our family, and that's what we still want to be to them. We don't want to be a sales ad. We don't want to be somebody that they're scared to talk to in public. We still want to be our normal, real self. So that's how we're watering our seed and we're nurturing it. And then it's going to come to fruition when we follow up with a special or when we reach back out and say, hey, I know we talked about Plexus. I know the timing wasn't right, whatever, and go from there. I do say sometimes, I know a lot of us get ghosted, and people always ask me, like, what do you do when you get ghosted? Like when someone doesn't respond for a few months. Sometimes I literally say, hey, whatever their name is, did you enter the Plexus Witness Protection Program? And I make like a laughing face. And they always comment back because they're like, oh my gosh, no, because they know they got called out for like ignoring you. And then they always have like a reason. No one's ever been like, yes, like leave me alone. They're like, no, I just got busy. I promise I still want to do it. And I'll be like, hey, well, when's a good time for me to follow back up? So I get a date. Like I'll be like, is next week good? We have on Friday, we're having these really good specials. I don't know what the products are going to be yet, but do you want me to reach out and let you know? And most of the time they'll be like, yes, follow back up next week or on Friday or whatever. So I put it on my phone and I follow up then. And then I feel like there was something else I wanted to say. No, I think that's it really. It's just these times we do have to be, like Sam said, she was talking about motivation, like keeping yourself motivated when things are hard. When things are hard, this is where I preach about it and preach about it and preach about it. And you guys are probably so sick of hearing it, but your why is so important because that literally should be your motivation. So if you were just sitting around doing nothing, I want you to revisit why you're doing this. Because if your why is to get to come home, build your dream house, give more to missions, give more to your church, be home with your babies, whatever it is, retire your husband. If you are sitting there on your butt doing nothing, how close are you getting to realizing those dreams? Not at all. You're not. So nothing changes if nothing changes. So if we're not self-motivated in a business that we're running ourselves, it's going to fail because it's up to us. It's not up to our team. We are the gas pedal for our teams. So I have a very large team. When I feel my team's energy go down, I know actually my energy has also been down. So we're the gas pedal for it. If we're just like here and there, that's exactly what your team is going to do because you are the leader for your own team. I'm the leader for mine, but each one of you are the leaders for the people that you know. So if you're consistent, if you're showing up, if you're excited about Plexus and sharing it, that's exactly what your teammates are going to do. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? We're going to open it up and do some questions. Nothing is off the table. That's what we're here for on these Monday nights. If you want to put it in the chat or if you want to unmute yourself, please, by all means, ask away. I'm going to go over here and see. Yeah, Bethany, if they see the message and don't reply, I also would not take that as don't follow back up with me. Yes, and people will definitely stop looking at your page. They're going to silence it, or if they don't like something that you post, you're eventually going to be lost from the algorithm. So that's why we need to post engagement posts too. I had a little thing up here, call to action posts. They do not have to be Plexus, but this is a great tactic to get your Facebook algorithm up, and the algorithm's like a score, like a test score. So you can do a call to action post. Try to do one per week, asking a question, not Plexus. Like one time I asked, please tell me what color car you drive. Me and my son are trying to figure out what's the highest color car, percentage of car, whatever. I don't know, remember, but I got 500 comments on it. 500 people put what color their car was because it's an easy thing and everybody has a car, right? The same for, ask advice on something, or, do you like white Christmas lights or colored Christmas lights? Do an engagement, one of those call to action posts at least every week. I'll give some examples of them. You guys can save the graphic. I'll put that in the Dreamers and Doers. But that's also going to get you up where people see your Plexus posts when you do make them.
Yes, and comment back to each one too. That like the more people you comment like back to, and it can feel very repetitive sometimes when you're commenting back to people.
Yeah,
But
you're like, what else could be saying?
especially for certain like call to action posts, but like try to be a little bit different with like all your comments back to people.
Yeah, think of it as you're in an actual conversation. If you're out in public face to face with somebody and they're like, oh, I like white Christmas lights, are you just going to bypass them and go around them and get the next person's answer and just ignore everybody? No, like acknowledge their comment with a, oh yeah, they're so pretty. I'd love to see your tree or something like that. And that'll keep kind of the conversation flowing. Yes, and Flash Sale Fridays, so good. We only have them left this Friday, right? I think they're only the two Fridays. Or is it next Friday too?
I thought it was every Friday in November.
No, it's not Black Friday, I know.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
Yeah, it's this Friday and next Friday,
yeah.
but not Black Friday. So we've got 2 more Fridays left of them.
And
Something
it's a good way too to like sound surprising because like you don't even know what we don't even know what the Flash Friday products are. So it's a good way to follow back up with your prospects and just be like, hey, the next 2 Fridays, like Plexus is having a Flash Friday sale. I don't even know what it is, but just wanted you to like, be geared up for Friday because I'll be happy to like reach out to you and let you know what the products are or whatever.
And then whatever Black Friday is, us Jules do not even know. Jen does not even know. So it's something very secretive, very good. So that's going to be exciting too.
That's what I was
No
going
one
to
else
ask
has
if it
any
was
other
a Black Friday
questions?
sale.
Sam, if you want to close this out.
Oh, sorry. I was talking and I think I was muted. Okay, no more questions, right? Okay. If you have any questions, y'all feel free to ask in the chat. I will close this out in prayer and we will be done. And then we're gonna get started on our discipline over motivation, right? I know I am. I got lots to do. Okay. Lord, we just come to you tonight, just thanking you for every single person on this Zoom, every single person in all of Plexus, Lord. Thank you for One Plexus. Thank you for everyone trying to build a business, Lord, with this amazing company. I just pray that we would steward what you have given us well, Lord, and that your will be done in every single one of our lives. That we wouldn't look side to side for comparison, that we would look straight forward just for what you have for us with spiritual eyes, Lord, to just raise up more leaders and be kingdom minded, kingdom focused on everything that you have for us here in this business. Lord, we know this is so much more than supplements. We know this is so much more than products. Um, it's relationships, and it's so cool to watch you just be at work in every single one of our lives through this business. Thank you for what you've given us. I just am so excited to see how every single one of these women's business flourishes, Lord, when they just stay grounded in you and who you are, Lord. Thank you for putting us all here at the right time. Thank you for just the divine appointments that we get to make every single Monday night to just come together and learn and grow together. And I just pray that we would utilize discipline over motivation, Lord, in all aspects of our life, not just our businesses. Help us to grow closer to you in all that we do, Lord. If there's anything that we need to surrender to you, Lord, I pray that you just make it clear. Give us clarity, give us wisdom, give us growth. We love you and we praise you in all that we do. Amen.